Hello, everybody. Let me make sure we are live everywhere. All right, there we are. So welcome. Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to the Pro Singer Success Collective. If you don't know me, I'm Arden Kaywin. This is my tribe. And I am excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today because it's something that I think a lot of singers struggle with, which is like you've been working, you've been practicing, you've been training, and you're doing all the things. You're recording, you're auditioning, you're all the things, and you feel like you've like hit a plateau. You kind of feel like you just don't know how to get any further because you're doing everything that you know how to do. And I remember feeling this way in my own training as well, where it's kind of like I would lie in bed at night and like stare at the ceiling fan, thinking to myself, like, what more could I possibly be doing? Like, what more? I can't. I couldn't practice anymore. I was always studying and in lessons. I couldn't audition more. I couldn't record more. Like, what more could I possibly be doing to get to the next level of my voice and also the next level of opportunities in my singing career? And so it was super frustrating because I felt like I was like just stuck in this plateau. And I know a lot of you guys get stuck in the same plateau. And so that's why what we're talking about today is what to do to get unstuck when you find yourself there. And it's not really that complicated. I'm going to say it, and you guys are probably going to be like, well, duh, Arden. Like, yeah, of course. But honestly, I know that the whole purpose of having mentors is people who can hold up the mirror to help you see the things that you weren't seeing before and that you're just unable to see on your own. So the first and most important thing that you need to do to get unstuck when you've hit this plateau is you need to get some data. So what do I mean by that? You need to just like sit down and gently detach from any judgment and just look at what is and get some data. What is working? What is not working? Like make a list, right? 2 sides of the page. This is what's working in my singing and break it down by category. So do your technique first. This is what's working in my technique. This is what's not working. Okay, so I really feel like I have a handle on my chest voice, and I really feel like I know how to attach to the story and commit to performance and character when I sing. I can really connect to the audience. I can, log that out, right? And then other side of the column in your technique and performance, like, oh, when I go into head voice, I feel really insecure. I'm pitchy when I'm in my head voice. I have a lot of tension, strain, fatigue, whatever it may be. Just list what's working, what's not working without judgment. And that's the most important thing here, guys, is to make sure that you're just looking at what is without making yourself feel bad about it. There's no make wrong here, okay? We're just getting data. So when that little judgy voice wants to come in and say, oh, the things that are not working are way further down the page than things that are working, and then want you to feel really bad about it, this is your time to tap into self-compassion, okay? So get some data. What's working? What's not working in your technique, in your performances, in your recordings. Just do an inventory. This is what we call doing an inventory to get the data. And then you're going to ask yourself, how long have you been doing the same things in the same way? So get some more data. How long have I been training the same way with the same teacher or in the same online program or in the same university or whatever it may be? How long have I been with that teacher? How long have I been doing it this way? Or if I'm not training, how long have I not been training? How long have I been kind of in a lapsed place with my training? How long have I been dealing with the same blocks that may come up? Like I freeze up when I go to auditions. How long have I been dealing with that? How long have I been dealing with a head voice that doesn't show up for me when I need it to, or a voice that's inconsistent? For example, like sometimes it shows up and it's awesome, and sometimes it's not, and I never really know what it's going to be. How long have I been dealing with that? Get clear. How long have I been taking the same actions? So do I practice regularly? And so you guys, what regularly is like twice a week at least, okay? Like, do I practice? Do I not? Again, there's no make wrong. You just need to see what is, because you guys, you can't change something unless you're aware of it, right? So how long have I been practicing regularly? And if I do practice regularly, how am I practicing? Because clearly, if there are things that still aren't working, the actions that you're taking, or not taking, the blocks that you are in, the training that you are doing or not doing, it's not working for you. Like, for example, if you've been with the same teacher for 5 years and you still are dealing with a lot of the same problems, like you still don't have consistency, meaning like what I was just talking about, it's a crapshoot. You never know when it's going to be great and when it's not. If you don't have reliability and you've been with the same teacher for 5 years, again, that doesn't mean that the teacher is bad and you have to hate them. No, but it means that that training is not working for you because nothing is changing. You still have the same issues. If you have not been training and you recognize that you have a lot of these things that are not working, if you continue to not train, then that outcome is going to remain the same. You guys, the number one reason that you are plateaued is because you've been doing the same things in the same ways for a while. And you know the result that you get from that. Just look at the page, look at what's working and look at what's not working. That's exactly the result that you get from the same things that you've been doing in the same ways for however long you've been doing them, right? Whatever you're doing right now is creating this result that you see on the page of what's working and what's not working. So you know the result that you get from doing things the way you've been doing them. And if you keep doing the same things in the same ways, you will keep getting the same results and you will stay where you are. You will stay plateaued. Right? That's, the old saying, Albert Einstein, right? If you continue doing the same things and expect a new result, that's the definition of insanity. Like continuing to do the same things and expecting a different result. That's insane. Yeah. And yet so many of you are not happy with the reliability of your voice, with your range, your ability to get up there and deliver when it counts every single time. So many of you are going out for auditions and things like that and not landing the gigs, or you're making recordings that nobody listens to, and you're talented and you have a lot of potential and you have a lot to give, and yet you're not seeing the results that you want. And if you continue to go to more auditions with the same way of showing up, with the same reliability in your voice, with the same ability to make an impact or not make an impact from the same kind of training that you've always had, you will continue to be frustrated and not break through in those auditions because nothing has changed. Same thing. If you make a record that is a disappointment to you, where you think that it's the best that you could do, but it gets like 5,000, 10,000 plays, it gets like hardly any plays. If you make another record and approach it with the same mindset, the same skill set, the same kind of training, you'll get the same result. And I say this not to be mean, you guys. I say this because sometimes it takes somebody on the outside to look in the window and say, hey, like, this is what you're doing. Don't keep doing that if you want to get a different result, right? If you want a different result out of your voice, out of your performances, your auditions, your recordings, if you want a different result and the opportunities that you're able to get with your singing, then you have got to be willing to do things differently, to change things up. If you have not been training, get back to your training. If you've been training a certain way, don't continue training that way because it's not getting you the results that you want. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'll say to somebody, I'll ask them about, their current voice teacher. Oh my God, I love them. They're like amazing. They're so supportive. All right. And so how are you feeling about your singing? Well, like, I don't know where my head voice is. I can't find my head voice. My breath support, I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I always feel like I'm running out of breath. And then I get really nervous when I go on stage because I don't have that reliability. And the list goes on. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, and yet you love your teacher? Okay, you can love your teacher personally. But if you've been with that teacher for a year, 3 years, God forbid, 5 years, and these things are still issues, you can still love that teacher personally, but oh my God, time for a new teacher. You guys got to be a little mercenary about this stuff because you only get one career. You only get one life. You have one body, you have one voice, you have one talent. And time is the number one non-renewable resource that we get. So you can continue wasting time doing things that are not getting you the results that you want, and you have proof because you've been doing them for a while and it's not serving you. Or you can, as I tell my singers, you can put your big girl pants on and you can decide to do things differently. Because when you do it differently, you will get a different result. That's how you get new data. I'm going to train differently. I'm going to approach my practice differently. I'm going to, whatever it may be. But if you have plateaued and you're stuck where you are, then you've got to be brave and courageous to change things up. And I know it can be scary. And I know that the unknown is, well, what if it doesn't work? Sure. You want to guarantee that whatever you change is going to get you a result. You can't get that guarantee. Unfortunately, we don't get to know what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is that if you don't change things up and you continue doing what you're doing, I can give you that guarantee that things will stay exactly as they are. So wouldn't it make sense to do that experiment? Change things up? Because if you do nothing, 100% you will stay where you are. If you change things up, now you have 50-50 chance that you might actually go further. And if you show up to that committed and serious and accountable, then you will get a result that serves you, right? And so here's where you can start. This is a really easy place to start, you guys, especially for those of you who are watching this, who are new in our tribe and who are new to me and to the way that we work in here, is we have this masterclass series coming up. Next Monday, a week from today, we start a 7-day free online masterclass series. And this is so great with respect to this topic, because if you come and it's 7 days, 90 minutes a day, Monday through Sunday, starting next week, the 12th, okay? And we're going to coach on mindset. We're going to coach on skill set. We're going to do a deep dive into breath support in a way that you guys, I guarantee you, even if you've had a lot of technique around breath support, I guarantee you there are things that you just don't know. There are things you don't know that you don't know. And I'm gonna show you them. I'm gonna coach on them. There's live hands-on coaching you will get to, especially if you've had a discovery call with our concierge Amy. Because if you've had that call with Amy, and there's a post in the Facebook group for that. There's also been links and emails that we've been sending when you register for the masterclass series, because when you get with Amy and you have a conversation, then I really know the things that you're struggling with. And so when we get into the masterclass series and we're doing the deep dive in breath support, and Amy's like, oh, so-and-so is really having trouble with breath support, I'll know. And I'll be like, oh, who wants to coach? And if I see your hand, I'm like, oh, I know she needs breath support. I'm going to pick you to coach. Right? So if you haven't booked that call with Amy, get on it, because it's going to really help you when you come to the masterclass series. And if you're not registered for the masterclass series, I mean, come on, what are you waiting for? Don't be one of those singers who's like killing themselves and is like doing everything. And then you're complaining that like nobody supports developing singers. No, everybody's just out for themselves. Everybody who just wants $1 million for training. Like, don't be one of those singers, because this is free, you guys. And I do this for you because I want you to understand that there is a better way to train that gets better results in a shorter period of time, because you're going to learn how to link your mindset and your skill set. your technique and your psychology, your body and your brain. This is how we get faster results. And we do it with like really advanced game-changing technique, vocal technique and mindset technique. This is why our singers get the results that they do, but it's a totally new way to train. It's not traditional training. And so instead of me trying to explain to you guys what this is and how great this is training this way, I just give it to you for free so you can experience it for yourself. And when you do, and you're going to get so much gold, like I don't want you guys to suffer. I don't, which is why we're doing this. So I'm going to put in the chat the link to register for the Masterclass series. Okay. If you have not registered yet, do it. Here, wait, let me go back to the comments. Do it because you got nothing to lose, right? And if you are registered, make sure that you get on that call with Amy, because if you want to coach with me live in the workshop, then it's a great way for me to know exactly what you're working on so that we can coach on the things that are important to you. All right, I just put it in the YouTube live. Let me put it in the Facebook live. For some reason, it's not letting me comment. Why is it not letting me do that? There we go. Okay, here we go. Ta-da. Okay. So as we move into this next week, right, get the data, make that list, like exactly how I just described this to you. Get clarity, understand what's working, what's not working. What are the things that you've been doing in the same way for a long time, the same things, and start to ask yourself, like, what do I really want? Because if you really want to succeed, if you really want to get to the next level with your singing, if you really want to be bulletproof, you guys know what that means? It means that every time I step on stage, I do not question if my voice is going to be there for me. I know it is because I'm bulletproof. And I have worked really hard to set that up in my instrument and my mindset. And that's what's allowed me to succeed and sing on big stages and do lots of amazing things with my singing. And you can do that too when you become bulletproof, but you got to be committed to do it. So I'm giving you an opportunity to do that for free in the masterclass. So take the opportunity, guys. Like when somebody gives you the gift, take it. And if you're registered, don't be one of those people who just like registers for things and then doesn't show up. Because when you show up, what you're teaching the universe is that this career, this talent, this gift matters to me. And we teach the universe how to treat us. And so it starts with you. So show up, because I would love to be able to help you and get you to that place where you are bulletproof too. And so if you want to break through the plateau, get clarity, follow the coaching that I gave you at the beginning of this live, and then register and show up to the Masterclass series starting next week. All right, you guys. Mwah, mwah. Have an amazing rest of your week. I will see you in the masterclass on Monday, starting this coming Monday, the 12th. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody.